Hello, gamers, and welcome to a special episode of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade. This is going to be our 2025 Game of the Year podcast. We're finally getting around to it in 2026, as we typically do. We check out in the following year the games that we played last year and which of them were our sort of favorites. We do our half-assed Game of the Year, as we've coined it, because these games we don't necessarily have to have played. Some of them are ones that we wanted to play, never got around to, didn't get a chance to.
Or we didn't even finish.
Or didn't finish.
But, yeah.
But with that, we typically make a list of 10 games that we either would have liked to play or did play and thought were amazing, or something like that, basically. So, with that, Dominic, what do you say? You want to start it off?
Yes, I'll start it off with my number 10. My number 10 game of the year was Absalom, which I played very, very, very little of. Like, I basically tried it out just to see what it was about. I heard it was an action RPG co-op, like made by the guys... what is like .mu or whatever? The guys who did the
.emu.
Yeah, Emu. Yes, the guys who did Turtles. Well, I don't know. Are they the publishers, developers? I don't know. But the names attached is they did the Turtles. They even did Marvel's Invasion, and they did Streets of Rage. So they had two. So they had two games that came out this year, and Absalom was a game that, even though I played more Marvel's Invasion, I think Absalom the game I like more because of the RPG elements to it that I think would make me that would gravitate towards me. It is like what is it? Wait a minute. I'm so sorry. Something came on my phone. All right. Yeah, it's like a medieval. It takes the medieval times and whatever, and you start off like a rebel wizard, and I think you get the other characters. I think it could be a dwarf or whatever. And thing is, and it has almost a. It's not like directly like straight beat 'em up. Like it's a beat 'em up, but it's a roguelite. It has a roguelite element to it also. But you can create combos and things of that nature. It is multiplayer. Can play with I don't know how many people actually you can play with. I know you can play with 2. But yeah, it seemed like really fun. And that like I actually maybe this year I'll get into it. I wish this was actually on Game Pass because I would like tell my friend to play or something to like play with him with. I can't be too much begging, right? Because I think we did get a Marvel's Invasion, but you know what? No, Game Pass went up, so I'm begging for everything. Yeah,
my money's worth.
Yeah, but good for them. Like that, they had these 2 good games that really come up. And like a roguelike beat 'em up co-op game that sounds all right. I think some people even said like they kind of okay if it wasn't a roguelite, I guess. But I have to try to see if that is like even a problem or it's okay. Like I have to play more of it to feel that. But and the art style is good too. It's like it has a very
it looks
cartoon
awesome
looking art style. Yeah, the guys who do these games, man, they've been doing great with these beat 'em ups. And I hope they continue with that. So that's my number 10. What's your number 10?
All right, my number 10 is South of Midnight. It's a game that I played a bit of at the beginning of the year, and I kind of forgot that it came out last year. By the end of the year, it kind of suffered from it being around the time. I feel like it wasn't right at that time, but it wasn't too far after where they announced like the Game Pass price hikes and stuff. And that really kind of distracted me from any of the stuff that was on Game Pass. I was kind of feeling so kind of bitter about it that it pushed me away from that stuff. And I think there were some other games that came out around the same time. but it's a game that felt very simple gameplay wise, like something that would have come out like an Xbox 360 or even maybe like an original Xbox GameCube, like PS2 generation. As far as the combat goes, it felt pretty simplistic, but the set pieces and the platforming that they had early on in the game was really engaging to me. And then they were definitely starting to tell an interesting story around the time that I stopped playing the game. Like they're definitely taking it in a direction that I haven't really seen a lot of games handle. And it seemed like they were doing a decent job at it. It wasn't like kind of just uh lip service kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So I definitely
Heck,
want to get
yeah,
around to that. I've still got Game Pass for now, and it's on there, so I should really just jump on there and finish that out. I can't imagine that's like a super long game. Because honestly, if it is, it feels like maybe it's going to be one of those games that does overstay its welcome if there's too much of that combat in there. But I think is just a means to break up the platforming and kind of bigger set pieces
that's
of
what
it
it
all.
feels like for what I
I
played,
think that combat is fine. Yeah.
and I played a lot of it. Yeah, that's what I felt like.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad
Um,
to hear that.
yeah. That and I mean, I'll talk about later probably in my honorable mentions about that game.
Mhm.
Because that's probably like that's a game is, and I want to definitely finish. But like the story and the art style, like it
Yeah.
was, it goes together very well, and it to tell like a really nice little folk type of story of like actually like black Americans like this is like you don't see that. Like you don't see like something like something that delves into like history and something. I mean the history not in like a learning history, but like a folk story kind of way. Like 'cause you don't have
Mhm.
those type of stories, you know. I mean in games you've never really seen it told in this way, and I definitely like it. Like it makes it feel like this could be like a movie or something, you know, like a movie or the
Mhm.
movie or something like the way they done it. And hey, um, and yeah, it was the experience was great. And yeah, I do want to go back to finish the story to find out what happened at the end. All right, so I guess we get to our number nine. So we're at number
Yeah.
nine. My number nine is another game I haven't. Well, this game I actually haven't played at all. Back to Dawn. Now, Back to Dawn is a game. It's a top-down game, and it has like pixel art type of graphics, like in over Super Nintendo type of age. And it's you play as anamorphic creatures. You play as I think the lead guys is a fox and a panther who have. Well, I know one of them's been wrongly convicted, and maybe both of them. I'm not sure. Um, I know. Okay, I see right here. Like you play as Thomas the Fox. He's a journalist, and he got framed. And you only get 21 days to escape, and it's like a time, like almost kind of timed like thing. Like you could do certain things. I think each day, so you have to make sure you're doing things to really help you escape. And I
Mm.
guess it also brings out like different people have different experiences through their playthroughs also with that,
Mm.
which I find pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
The Panther, I'm trying to see who the Panther is. Like, why does he get locked up? But I don't know. But also, I mean, it's like a Saw Shank kind of thing. Um, I guess looking at so it's not like you breaking out like criminals and stuff like you're. I think it's maybe it's some like good conspiracy stuff going on behind the scenes or what's happening here. Of course, because the Fox got framed. I think Panther he might have been wrongly convicted or something like that. And they said that the voice acting is pretty good. I think believe it is like voice acted. Um, and actually, I don't even know what's voice acted. I mean, for some reason, I assumed it was. I just don't remember. I watched the trailer. I don't remember hearing him talk. I can't remember if I heard him talk. But yeah, but I heard it's like very it has that D&D style dice roll system that kind of I guess definitely Baldur's Gate. You're familiar, but I would probably put it closer to like Disc Elysium. It kind of got like that because like Disc Elysium had the same thing too. Like, you know what? Like you talk to somebody and um, it's just like a roll of dice, like what you might say, and it
Right.
does have that. So it definitely is going to give you definitely different experiences through that. But yeah, it it sounds like a really interesting game. Like when I first saw it on Game Pass, like I did want to try it out, but I forgot what I was playing. I was like, I'll try that after this. But like, hey, Tom, man, like things happen, and then you get consumed by other things and you forget. But yeah, but I did see that a lot of people did like this game. I think it was on some people's lists, for the top 10s, or at least mentioned like they're like at the especially the longer list, people who had like 50 games or 25 games of
Yeah.
your stuff list. I did see this up there. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I do. This is one of those games at that time, man, I do want to try out. And it seemed like a game, yeah, I would definitely have put it on my list. So
Mm.
what game you got for number 9?
Got Ghost of Yotai. This is a
Okay.
game I think Ghost of Tsushima I similarly had on my list as a game that I didn't play, but I wanted to. So it's a little funny that I have this on there too, because I still haven't gotten around to that. But I did play Assassin's Creed Shadows at the beginning of the year, and it felt like it was very similar. But I think by all respects, Ghost of Yotai is a better game, right? Like it's artistically a better game. It's less of a just straight up yearly product and a little more nuanced in that way, even if it is playing, a very similar story, it seems like. Um, so I've wanted to get into this series and you're getting into Ghost of Tsushima now, and I kind of want to follow you along in there and finally get around to that. But like you've said, I think if I were to play that game, that means I'm not getting around to this game anytime soon. Granted, that might be for the best since this is a $70 game that I'm
And
rather play the one that's on the library.
also exclusive to PS5 right now. It's not
Yeah.
on PC yet.
Yeah. And not to make this a news thing, but there's talk now going around that the games that Sony might be pulling back from the PC releases and going back to more exclusives to their console, which I could see happening, especially if Xbox is going in the direction of it can play
Oh
any
no,
Steam
that
games.
sucks.
It
'Cause
does.
yeah, because I can't
Because they're
cheat.
just better versions on the PC.
Yeah, that too. But man, with the Ghost of Tsushima, like, dude, having that cheat where I can just not travel on my horse all the way to a place and just speed somewhere, that is so
Yeah.
convenient, man. Especially at a time of age where I'm trying to like hurry up and do like I ain't got much time, man, to be playing these games. And look, it's nice. Like people will make the excuse like, "Oh, it's nice traveling." No, it is, and I do it sometimes, but I don't want to do
Yeah.
it all the time because there's one point
But you
where
get the choice if you're doing
yeah,
that.
like
Yeah.
like next
You're not
mission was like
forced to.
all the way over the other side of the island, which is like okay, I don't want to. I already traveled a lot now. Now I just want to fast travel somewhere and
Yeah.
yeah, say, look, man, I'm gonna put that cheat in there. I mean, listen, I mean, the right way to play it, yes, is to just go and travel, but well, right way, as in not doing quotes. But look, man, I just want to hurry up and get there. All right, it's like look, I ain't
Yeah.
got. I don't want to spend forever on these games now.
Yeah. But I'm definitely intrigued by like the combat system, right? Because something like Assassin's Creed is kind of gotten to a point where now it's just the bog standard action game. Whereas like this and Ghost of Tsushima definitely look like they're going for a more I wouldn't say like serious or semi version of a fight. You're still hacking away at people with sharp swords and they're not
Yeah,
dying instantly. This isn't
but you
Bushido
can't just
blade.
press. Well, I guess square would be this case.
Yeah,
You can't just press square, like because the guys will be blocking
exactly.
you, and like yeah, it's not quite Batman, I would say, but
Right.
it's a little, and it's not quite hard like Dark Souls either.
I was gonna
Like
say, and it's not a Dark
yeah,
Souls, so I'm
yeah.
interested to see if like it nails being that in between, or if it still does require some work. So I think just generally they are doing something very interesting with that series that I don't think is really coming out from anybody else, because nobody's really doing in the single player kind of story focus stuff. Like obviously you have kind of your hack and
Dynasty
slashes still.
Warriors.
I was
Dynasty
gonna say
Warriors.
you have
That's
your
how I was joking.
Dynasty
That's
Warrior
okay.
style stuff. But that's still more about player count on this,
Yeah.
enemy count on the screen than it is about,
Now I don't know about Ghost of Yotai.
engaging with the world.
I know Ghost of Tsushima has a multiplayer legendary thing where you
Mhm.
can do stuff
Yeah,
with
and they're
people.
coming out with that for Ghost of Yotai too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that seems cool. I mean, that's not something I'm necessarily ever going to find myself engaging with, but it is cool that they're bringing that over because people did seem pretty interested in that first one. So yeah, it's one of those games that, especially like if it finds its way onto the game library for the PlayStation, if I've still got that going on when it gets there, like I definitely need to make that top of the list to get into that a bit.
All right. So the game, I guess we go to number 8. So my number 8 game is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Which is so funny because I never had Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 on any of my lists because I honestly did not know what it really was until I
Yeah.
had tried it out. I want to say either 2 years ago, maybe now. I think I tried it out. It was free on Epic Store, and I was like, "Wow, this is essentially like a Bethesda game, but just a little different, a little more realistic because they had a little realistic stuff." But of course, with PC, I was able to turn some of the stuff off, so I didn't have to do. But still, like it was like a deep story. I thought it was like honestly thought it was like a survival one of those survival games where it's like, oh, like that was like Ark in just in a medieval, medieval time setting. Like what's it called? Ark Evolved or something? But
Yeah.
but
The
yeah.
Vin Diesel
So
game.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it takes place in 15th century Bohemia, the home where Bohemian Rhapsody was created by Queen. And they and you play. I know now. I'm trying to think. In the first game, yeah, you played as. I guess you're still playing the same character, the blacksmith's son. I don't think he's. But like, well, I don't think you could create a character or fix him up. But you were definitely, yeah, you were
I think you
definitely the
modify
guy had
him
a
a
name.
little bit,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
kind of that
And
stuff,
I'm
but
thinking the
yeah,
sequel is
there's a
still
story
based
to it.
off of him. But yeah, but I heard that this game was two was really well done. Like people really liked it. So I was like, well, darn. So they really did good with the sequel. For uh and for people who are really into like those type of RPGs, like that's pretty good holdout. That was a good really good holdout until like Witcher 4. And like to have these good
Yeah,
quality a good quality RPG, like a top quality RPG. Um for like then having another one like medieval sort of one in Witcher 4. And now this what Kingdom Come is more realistic. Is like it's not fantasy unless I miss something, unless they do something different later on in the games. But for what I've seen, it because it's really it takes place in a historical setting, but it's also in a realistic setting. It's not like medieval like goblins and stuff like that. Nah, this
yeah,
is
it's not
like it
dungeon
takes
or dragons
yeah,
and elves and stuff like that.
nah, this is at a realistic setting of what happened around that time. And yeah, and I said, okay, that's a cool take because usually, like, yeah, you don't really get that. And the times we really get something that's more realistic setting is either a strategy game, or it's I guess, like I said, a survivalish game, like nothing to like a Bethesda-ish kind of RPG game. And yeah, and your choices they definitely impact the story in this game. Like you have choices that really do this, which I always love. Yeah, man, it's a detailed world. Like graphically, the game looks good. It looked good in the first one, and this and it looked really good when I saw what it was in this one. So it seemed like yeah, this will probably be a game out, and I kind of just have like some of these games lore on my list only because like I didn't really actually play a lot of them, but they look like games that I would actually like.
Mhm.
Um, so hey, they could be games that I probably would have put up higher. I don't know, but
But
I figured they would definitely be on my list. So yeah, and I believe everything else, yeah, I'm about to say now is games I actually have touched. Probably not a lot of, but I did touch actually, so that's good.
mm,
So like it was only like 2 games really that I haven't touched at all on this list. So
yeah.
what's your next game? Your number 8.
All right, so my next game is Dispatch, but I know you've got that higher on your list somewhere, so we'll revisit that later.
Okay. So you can go say number 7 then. Um,
All right, yeah, because we're gonna
yeah, I gotta
we've
skip.
kind of
That's
got
right.
some bouncing around here.
I got Blueprints at number 7.
Yeah,
But he has it higher.
yep. All right, number 7 for me is Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Now I've been kind of like back and forth on this and Ninja Gaiden Ragebound as like which one I should play because I've heard like Shinobi, I think I've seen a slightly higher praise for Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I played the demo for that. It looks really nice. It played really well during that demo, but I never got around to playing it. Whereas Ragebound did
And you don't
come
like
to Game
Sega because
Pass
of
before I
Sonic. I
made this.
understand.
Exactly. I mean, they burned me one too many times, Dominic. But between the art style and the gameplay of it, it is one that I want to get around to one of these days. Hopefully by then they'll have an upgrade to the Switch version that makes it a Switch 2 version so that it's not as kind of blurry looking. I don't think that as of recording this that is the case as of yet, but that'd be nice. Or it just ends up on Game Pass, I guess, maybe hopefully one day, and then I can give it a try through there. But it looks pretty awesome and right up my alley as far as a game that, even I don't need my 2D kind of platformy action games to be Metroidvanias. In fact, sometimes I would prefer they not be, just so it's a linear experience that I can actually like get through and beat and feel like I've, you know, achieved something with the game instead of falling off of it pretty quickly and never getting back to it.
All right,
So
man.
yeah.
So I guess we get to our number 6. And my number 6 is Donkey Kong Bonanza, but you actually have it higher. So what's
Yeah,
your
so
number
we'll
6?
revisit that. My number 6 is Marvel's Cosmic Invasion. Speaking of 2D kind of side-scrolling stuff, and you mentioned the Dot Emu guys for Absalom. They worked on this game too. Basically, an evolution of what they've been doing with these games, and coming from someone as a Marvel fan, I appreciated the fact that this stuff is voice acted. I was a little surprised by that, although I think Turtles was too, right?
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
was
So
Future
like,
Age. What?
yeah,
Yeah, well,
they've set a
Future Age was
precedent that they're doing
yeah,
that.
it was part of it. I don't think was it through yeah, I think it was through the cutscenes too. I forget, yeah. Um
Yeah. So that stuff's really nice. I like the added element in this game of like you can play as anybody that you have unlocked, but there are specific characters for that level that either have like some different dialogue or like more
yeah,
appropriate for the scenario that they've set up. They also have
that's
like
good.
those added challenges when you pick those characters that allow you to get some extra points. I really like that too. The game just looks really nice. It has that Marvel versus Capcom old school kind of look to it, which I miss in the newer Marvel versus Capcom games. And yeah, it's one of those games that I played a decent amount of, but there's still plenty more for me to get out of that game before I'm done with
Right. So yeah, I enjoyed that game too, man. It was
it.
fun. Um all right, so we get to our
Did
number
you
5.
you haven't beaten
What?
that one. Yeah,
No,
right.
I haven't beaten it yet.
Okay.
My number 5 is Dispatch.
Nice.
Um, so I wait a minute. Okay, so yes, and you have it as your number 8. So yeah, I'll
Correct.
Dispatch was like I'm already. I mean, if you listen to this podcast, I'm definitely into the story-driven games and definitely like point and click games. Like that was what I kind of grew up playing when on the PC, and like
Mhm.
Dispatch is kind of they're like those type of games are kind of like basically similar, like kind of offshoots of what those games were. Um, Now, but Dispatch, I mean, well, I said point and click, but it's not really a point and click. I'm sorry, Dispatch is not really a point and click thing. It's more of a choice, the choices part of the game, like the dialogue choice part
Yeah,
of
it's like
those
a
games.
narrative
So
choice game.
yeah, yeah. So I would say it's more of what you say, a visual novel, but evolved visual novel because like
Mhm.
it's more gameplay to it than what visual novels usually are, or visual novels usually are no gameplay. But like dispatch is the dispatch portion of the game is you dispatching heroes. Like it's a world of heroes, more closely to like Invincible than like traditional like Marvel and DC worlds because
Yeah,
it's more adult.
they're
It's
edgy.
yeah. So like you dispatch these heroes and you are an ex-hero yourself, but you're hurt and you're getting a job and you're helping these guys out. Now you did like you're working with these guys who were former criminals, so you're like they're like kind of trying to get their lives back together. These guys, so that's like you're working together with these people. And thing is, the gameplay element is that you see the calls come in, like where they need heroes, and then you have to tell what hero to go, and you have to pick the best hero that is for that specific task. And like if you don't, there could be failures to what you do. And if you do, those guys can level up, and you can level up something where they're not good at, so they can possibly be better at other situations. So like that's the gameplay element, which is fun. Like I really like that. And then you have the story element of like just the dialogue choices of what to pick and talk. I wish there was more to it in those spaces. But it's good. Like but it's I feel like but it's fine. Like I kind of wish it was a little bit more of the actual like narrative stuff, like of choices
Okay.
and things. Yeah, I didn't feel like I felt like I could have used more. Like I actually could have used more of that. Um, but it's fun for now. Maybe part 2 or whatever game they do next, it'll be longer or something like that. But for them, like who did this game again? Like the
I think it was like some ex Telltale devs,
okay,
like
so
people
it was
that
X.
had that
Okay, yeah,
experience,
got yeah,
but
okay.
it's not,
So
anybody that's done any
yeah,
game
this is
before. Like that studio
yeah.
hasn't
So as a
released a
group,
game.
as their group, yes, this is their first game, and but yeah, they brought the experience. Some people who brought the experience from what they did at Telltale. Yeah, but I wish there was a little more of the like stuff outside of the dispatch that you can do,
Mhm.
like outside of the dispatch game. Dispatch game was good. Like I do really like that, and
Yeah,
I
because it
kind of
does
want that.
feel a little video-ish. Obviously you're making some choices here and there, but outside of that actual dispatching gameplay, you're not really moving about or doing
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
that you
you're
can
not doing.
control.
It's not like how it is in the Telltale games outside that. Like I was kind of hoping that
Mhm.
it was kind of like what the Telltale games were outside of the dispatch portion of the game, and then that was just like you had that also. But I understand like because it's not that long, and I don't know what the budget is
Yeah,
for this game.
exactly.
Maybe they can expand on that, to make it a little longer and more interactive, and even the dispatching part be more also because
Mhm.
I feel like it ain't take that long for me to get to the. I still haven't beaten it. I'm on the last episode, but it just didn't take that long to get to the last episode. It doesn't feel as long as how like Walking Dead is
Yeah.
was with like all
Yeah, all of those
episodes.
episodes are only like 30 minutes long, besides I think the last two are a little bit longer.
Yeah, so I kind of wish it was a little bit longer. I think it's on the little short side, but also understanding like what it is, like it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. So yeah, I hope like eventually like yeah, wherever comes of this game, like it does expand on it. But I did like what I played. Like I feel like it's mentioning like it was up my alley. Um, so yeah, Dispatch. So like yeah, you had it at your number 8. So what you feel about it?
Yeah, it's visually awesome. The acting in it is equally as awesome. We've talked about it before, but this is a game that looks like a television show, and in a lot of ways looks better than a lot of the stuff that you see nowadays. Like I think this game visually looks better than an episode of Invincible.
Yeah.
Um, Storytelling, the writing, I think is very well done. I think all the
Trust me, there's no excuse
characters.
really for that. And no, I don't blame the people on Invincible. Like it's
Yeah,
Amazon. It's
yeah,
like
no.
Amazon,
They're
like
given they're getting given a
it's
budget, and
chunky.
they're working within that
Yeah.
budget. So, yeah. Um, but the only reason I think I haven't played this game is because I've watched it already. But that does still leave me a lot of choices to go back and experience myself. So I do have that game. I just need to make some time to play it. And like you said, it's not a very long thing. Um, so maybe I just sit down and do that sometime this week. Because even if you do like an episode a night or something like that, obviously it's slightly more than a week if you do it one per night. But when you're talking 30 minutes, you can probably cram two in there. And yeah, because I'm interested. The playthrough I saw, Sonar is the guy that gets kicked out of the group, and I don't know what direction you went.
Oh, that's the same
Or he gets
direction.
fired or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Because like I guess theoretically the woman would just,
Yeah, she
I
could get
guess,
kicked out.
fit
Yeah.
into the same slot. And then she would kind of be, the person. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see where a second season of that goes as well. But I'm a little more apprehensive, and I think part of the reason why I haven't gotten around, or I haven't made it like a priority to play, is because I'm a little more apprehensive about the dispatching game part of it. Like I want there to be a game in there, and I'm glad they have something in there to break up those cut scenes, because just like watching endless videos, even if you're making choices during them occasionally, can be a little tiring. Like I'm playing a video game. I want something to engage with. So I'm glad they have that in there. And I think it's very smart because it does, from what I've seen, does add to the character development. I mean, even if it's smaller things that probably don't amount to much in the actual gameplay, but dialogue wise, they have things where if I send this person on the mission with this person, you're going to get this dialogue
Yeah.
versus if you
Yeah,
send them with
exactly.
somebody else.
It had me
Um,
thinking like, oh man, maybe I should try to send a mission to somebody just to see what they would say
right.
with each other.
Yeah, so I really like that, and I think they utilize much like The Wolf Among Us. I think that's why I'm interested in this game too, because of all the Telltale games. I mean, obviously, Walking Dead was a very special thing. It was the first one that they like really knocked out of the park, even though they did some really solid ones before that. That was the first one that got like the mainstream appeal and where I jumped on
Yes.
board really. Um,
I should have jumped on with Sam
and
and Matt.
and I like that game a lot, but then you had The Wolf Among Us, and I think that really kind of hit pitch perfect for me. Like the story it was telling, I think was a little, I don't want to say a little more compelling, but it was just as compelling as the Walking Dead stuff. But in this weird kind of like bastardized version of these fairy tale stories, I thought that was really cool. Um, still looking forward to that second one if it ever actually does happen.
Oh
Maybe
my
hand that
god.
game over to these guys. But much in the same way, I think this studio has done a good job to utilize those more adult elements to kind of just make it distinct from other superhero stories that are being told nowadays, and not in a way that feels like overly wrought, right? Like it's not that it's not subtle at all, but it is indicating to you that, like, we're doing something different. This is going to be for a more adult audience, and I think that is also conveyed by the stories that they're telling. It's not just here's some tits, here's a dick hanging out. It's okay, let me show you visually very quickly that this is an adult game, and then they're going to get into subject matter that they're going to talk about that is more adult and more
Yeah.
mature. Um, and like I said, I think that dialogue is handled very well, because it's not just the okay, they're making dick and fart jokes, they're making, sex jokes and stuff like that. They are having also like these very kind of tender moments with each other. They're becoming vulnerable as they
Yeah.
build as a team together, and
And like
it's very
in
well
more
done.
mature content, like just the talking, like it's not like,
Mhm.
yeah, like this the sex stuff of the game, like I actually happy with. Like the older I get, like the more it's like sex, like it's not a big deal. Like seeing that, like I
Yeah.
don't need a whole bunch of like back in the day when like HBO, that's like everybody used to make like, oh yeah, how many titties are gonna show on like this new series or something like that.
Oh man,
Um,
this episode is rated M, but it's for language and smoking.
yeah, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, who you gonna see naked? Like True Blood or something. It's like, oh, who's seeing
Yeah.
naked this time? But yeah,
Oh, it's another
it's
dude's ass.
but with this, it's not overly sexual. Like it's not, and I'm okay with that. And I was like, oh, cool,
Mm.
because I was wondering. I was like, okay, are they going to just? Am I just going to be like? Because you can seem like you can choose kind of be with a person somewhat like closer. I was like, oh, is this is going to be a whole bunch of sex? I was like, okay, no, it's not. I was like, okay, good, cool. I'm okay. Not that I don't want it, but I want it to be done in a way like that's not like teenagers or like with like or like for teens and stuff like that, but in a more mature way. And I was like, this is fine. Like I'm good with that. And yeah, I do, yeah, that's why I really like this story, like this game. Like it does it well. Like it does everything really well with jokes and things of that nature. Like you said, like it's yeah, they do it. Yeah, this is really well done. Like I like. Hopefully, and they'll continue, and um, hopefully Telltale will have this stuff because I don't really. I mean, actually, Ali, there are a lot more games that are a little closer, or like maybe point and click kind of way, or visual novels ish games out there now. And I'm not just talking about the real visual novel. I mean, the visual novel games that you see all the time on Steam. Like actually, especially Japan's really known for that.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like those. But I'm talking about like ones that are really well done. Like they're like putting like good quality work because I'm seeing people actually talk about them. And because like when looking up this list, I was looking at games that came out. I was a lot of games that were kind of indie games that were like, oh, this ain't just some like. I mean, no, nothing against people who really do that stuff, those visual novel stuff. But it's like like they don't have budgets. It's probably like just one person doing something. You know, and so they don't have a bigger budget, and they're just trying things out. But there's actually some people who are like really putting a lot of work into the work, or there might be multiple people on their project, and like I'm like, wow, this actually looks like a cool like little mystery kind of game. Like I would actually like. I didn't even hear about this. Um, and it's not a sex game. I mean, like a hentai game or something. And
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, I actually like want to try this, and it's not one of those porn games that you see to see. And I was like, okay, good. So yeah, I do like that. There's those out there. You just don't hear them as much. But the ones that are getting out there, like let's say with Dispatch or either Do Telltale, um, like yeah, I do want to see them come up too. Like I do want to see things of that nature to be coming back because I like those games. I mean, you got the Life is Strange stuff happening, um, but I want a variety, like of different types. Like Life is Strange is like the coming of age thing, and I mean, they do have, even though they have the one Lost and Found Bound. What was it called? The one with the girls, the four girls. It's
Yeah,
still got the same
Bloom,
vibe.
something Bloom lost and
Yeah, it's still the same vibe of
something.
Life is Strange, and I'm not telling them to change. It's just that I want somebody else to do something else then, because I was like, okay, I played this kind of vibe thing before, and that's fine because it's not a lot of games that do that. So if anybody who likes that, they have that. Like
Right.
I got to know how those like basically suburban white girls feel. That's nice. You know that I know that is a
The
black
other
person in
side
there,
lives.
but still, that black person is also bringing around a whole bunch of white people. So it's like, hey, that's what it is. What it is. And now I can understand, like, see what they go through with their problems. But I do want somebody to expand on something else, some other type of thing with that same quality, that have that same type of backing or something like there. So yeah, I like those narrative games. Yeah, I really like having attachment to. So all right, so that's number 5. So what you got for number 5?
Yeah. So once again, Emu rears its head. They published this game, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I mentioned that earlier when I mentioned Shinobi.
Damn, so they had at least 3 games like they've been involved with
Yeah. So
that
they
actually were really
published this
good. That were good.
one. Yeah. This is, the new what are Devolver Digital, basically. Like they're the new hotness in indie games, I guess, or indie-ish games.
Yeah.
This is developed by the Game Kitchen, who previously did Blasphemous, which was like kind of a
Oh yes.
2D
Yeah.
side-scrolling Metroidvania. Dark Souls is
Didn't that
how
have
I
a part
always
two
heard it
to that one
described.
too?
Yeah, there was a Blasphemous part 2 as well. Um, but this one I've actually gotten a chance to fully play now. It showed up on Game Pass after I was debating like which of these to get. Um, and I was actually quite impressed by it. Like I thought it was going to be relatively simple action ninja game, and that's not to say like my standards were low for it, but I thought it was going to be a relatively simplistic thing. And immediately they go into this where there's a second character, and then I'm like, okay, so maybe I'm gonna like play as these two different characters. She's on the cover, I'm gonna be switching between these different styles of things. And then you basically like inhabit, something happens to her, and you become basically like one character with the power set of both of them combined, and they're instantly using that as a means to make the gameplay more interesting. You're switching between the powers that you're using, and it's not like, okay, I'm this character now and this character now. It's not like a tag thing. You just have different buttons that do, like, okay, I'm going to press B, that does her move, versus X doing his move or something like that. And you'll have enemies that are these different colors that correspond to the move sets of the different characters. Um, and so far, they've done some really cool stuff with that. And I could very much see it moving in the direction of like a Guacamelee, where things become pretty intense with like how much you're trying to like mentally navigate switching between making sure you're using this power on this enemy who's weaker against it, and then you're adding a bonus basically because there's enemies where it's like, oh, if you kill this enemy with this kind of thing, then you get a one-shot kill move, or an extra bonus damage move on like a boss situation. So they vary the gameplay of what is mostly a relatively typical side-scrolling platform action game, and they're playing with it a little bit, and I really like that a lot. The visuals, I think they really do a good job of utilizing the not quite 16-bit. It's a little cleaner than like a Super Nintendo game, but it is that pixel art style. But it's very clean. It looks really nice. It reminds me of like The Messenger, which came out quite a few years ago, probably at this point when I think about it. Um, and yeah, I'm having a great time with this game so far. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes gameplay wise. And I think the story that they're telling is relatively interesting too, for what could be a bog standard kind of, the evil samurai demon thing is trying to take over your world.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I know I might try these games. I mean, like, cause I look at them like they look fun. I mean, they look like games I do want to try. Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden. There's some other ones too. I think yeah. There's another one from actual what's this? The guy's card. The guys who do uh the Riot Games, the Riot Games game. They
Oh,
got
okay.
side scrolling action game actually out too. That I think it actually came out before. I don't think it's like brand new. Actually, but and then Blaze Blue. I see they got like a side scrolling action game
Oh, really?
that's on Game Pass right now
Okay.
called
I think we
Blaze Blue.
mentioned that
Enjoy
at some point. I just keep
X.
forgetting about it.
Yeah, and I feel like that came out some time ago too, or at least
Mm.
another version of it or something. I don't know, but yeah, because they look like I just a regular side-scrolling game with like I mean, they have some story to it, but it's like it's fun. Like yeah, I never played not a beat 'em ups per se, but just an action game. Like I said, darn, I haven't played one of those in actually a while. I do want to get my and like just hands-on playing. So yeah, man, I might actually check that out. Especially that you got Ragebound is I think that's the one that's on Game Pass, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, definitely look at that. All right, so now we're going to number four. Number four. Well, my number four is Dynasty Warriors Origins. This was a almost like a reimagine of the Dynasty Warriors series. Like they really went a different route with this. Like play as oh crap, something fell. I felt it. Get it here. My headphones. Oh, it's just my phone. Um, but so you play as just single character. Like you don't play as the other characters, but you can switch to those other characters if you partner
Mhm.
up with them. But mainly you're playing as just one single character. He supposedly works for this like mythic. God damn! But oh, it's because I don't have my cover on my phone. It's so slippery. They just slide off. But the so you play for this like secret, almost like organization or community or whatever group that it like it really kind of stirs, I guess, Chinese government in the background. Well, the way they put it is like it's nothing like that. Like they're kind of work for peace, so they're always back. Like if something's like an empire looks like it's not peaceful, they'll kind of help stir it in the right direction, like by backing who they think they should back to get to that
Mhm.
point. Um, and yeah, it may sound like, oh, this is like some like underhanded behind government stuff. No, it's very simplified in this world. Like it's just they literally like this is really told like bringing peace to China. Like it's that simple. It's nothing complicated about these stories. Like they don't make anything complicated about the era of this, like the end of the Han Dynasty, and like the Three Kingdoms stuff. Like they keep it simplified into almost like each side has is not like there's no bad guy. Well, there's some bad guys, but between the Three Kingdoms, they're all generally, I guess you would call them good, but they're not necessarily bad. Um, and yeah, they don't. Yeah, it's not. They don't all complicate anything. It's really just simplified as far as story goes. I think because a lot of times you're just talking to people, and talking to people is like we talk to these other prominent figures in the Dynasty Warriors world. Like they just talk about like I would love to bring peace and happiness and blah blah blah. Or like somewhere it's like it's nothing like it's just like oh okay. It's like these conversations. It's like I'll just skip it. It's like I don't even care. I talk. It's like I'll just talk about like everybody have their version of peace and things of that nature. And I mean that's truthfully of the world. But like I said, this is a simplified version of that. It's not going to like oh I'm thinking of like some morality thing. No, don't. Like the only somewhat like really hardening like guy you obviously know is bad is like Dao Zhong, this big he's portrayed as like a big fat dude in the game, but he's big dude, like he's strong. But and then of course like Lu Bu. Like Lu Bu, he just cares about the strong. He said the strongest should rule, and that's it. Like nothing that's all he is. And so yeah, that's it. But other than that, everybody is pretty much a good guy. So it's never a point where it's like, oh man, I don't know, like whose side should I pick as far as like the three kingdoms because they're all good. Like
Right.
they're all seem like decent dudes. I don't know
Is
what the
the
real
idea
history
that
is.
like at the end of the day their goal was to all just kind of come together and be one?
Well, no, they don't ever because they all have the same idea what they want. They just have different ways of going about it. That's
Okay.
just really what it comes down to.
But
And
the
maybe that's
goal's
what
not
comes down
the
to.
same between all of them.
The goal, well, the goal is to bring peace to
Okay.
the, yeah, but
But
the
it's not
peace involves
necessarily to
them.
like unify the three
Oh
kingdoms.
well,
It's
yeah,
just
unify. Yeah, it's to unify under their rule. That's what it really is. That's what it seems like.
okay.
What it is.
But under
Like,
their rule
yeah,
versus
their
the
rule. That's
other.
what I'm saying. Their
Okay.
rule, their
Gotcha.
own
Okay.
rule. So because in actuality, like, yeah, if they all decide, hey, we just stay wherever we are, we just stay, that's fine. But it's always some complications with that because yes, those are the three main guys, but there's other guys also fighting for rule too. But I think in history, those are the guys' names that you know. Of Chinese is Sun
Okay.
Quan, Cao Cao, and Liu Bei. Like Liu Bei, not don't get confused with Lu Bu because one time at a point I was very confused. I was like, I know Liu Bei, and that name's Lu Bu, and like stuff like that, whatever. But yeah, those are the guys who are like the main figures of the three kingdoms. There's other people who are like fighting and who they fight for along history lines and stuff like that. But um, yeah, it's a lot there. Like even I don't fully understand. I play all the games and I don't fully understand the history either. Because one time I was trying to learn the real history and I was learning like, oh, Dynasty Warriors do things differently because some of these guys are like 10 years old and like they're not even supposed to be old enough to at this game, but they had them old enough in this game. Like that's
Right.
some people said, like, hey, this guy is actually supposed to be like 15 and he's up here looking like an adult. And then some guys supposed to be really old. Like they have the guys like who are only like 30 look like they're 50. And like it really, like it's like they're old. It's like why is this man look like he's so old? Like Sean Kwan has white hair, like he's gray. He's like that old. But anyway, but anyway, this game, like I said, the difference between this game is that you have this fictitious character who you play as, and they control. Like, so you start out with like you helping everybody because at the beginning they're all on the same side. They're going against the Yellow Turban and stuff like that, and working under the Emperor. Then, as history goes on, things change, and then they all become more prominent. And then you get to a point in the game where you have to choose whose side you're going to back. And I had chose Liu Bei's side. I haven't beaten the game yet, but that's the side who I chose. And that's the point of the game I at now. But there's a lot of game before you even get to that. And it's like an open map world now, that's what you never did really in Dynasty Warriors. Like you go to places, and then they have random battles pop up. They can go quickly too, like these little random battles. You go in, like they say, like, "Hey, help these peasants get to this point in the map," or "Hey, control these 2 points on this map of like these bandits or like fight the remnants of this army that you have for it. It's like they don't take that long usually. Excuse me. But they also got some little strategy stuff in there too for the bigger battles you can have to do things. And I know in other Dynasty Warriors they had some people had some variety of things to do to make it not as monotonous. Like you could do other things instead of just bashing through enemies. And but this one, yeah, it still comes down to bashing enemies. But the graphics look so good. Like the amount of enemies that are here now, like because of the power they have now to make it look really like a whole army there. It looks cool. Like I like the look of it. It looks great, and it's fun. It's fun as hell. Like doing this, and yeah, I like it. Like this is a different way of the game's done, and I really like it. I do wish they still had a version. Well, I haven't played the DLC yet, but um, where they have a version where like you can still play like regular Dynasty Warriors. But I understand because like the way the game is made, that'll be almost like another game because I don't know how they would do that because like how this game is done, it's not like other Dynasty Warriors games. Like other Dynasty Warrior games, you pick the character and you play through his story, like you did that. Um, this I guess it's a lot there because the way that they done it, it'll be like I guess they could do like a quick thing. Yeah, they could do something like, hey, and which I guess essentially maybe that's what they did in DLC with some characters. They don't have like you play as all these characters. They have these. They have like a Lubu story. They have in the DLC and a character from your the group you were in. She had died. Well, sorry, spoiler alert. Um, but you could I guess play as her at some point. I don't know how that works in the storyline, or whatever. But yeah, I just want to know, like, for the next Dynasty Warriors, I'm curious, like, where they go from there. Are they going to go back to how they did it before? Because I do actually want to play a game where I get to choose the character I play as, and not just partner
Mhm.
up with them and potentially just switch. Because I do like playing as those. I mean, I like choosing different characters, but they do make it so that you can change your weapons, so you can use all the weapons that everybody uses. So that's good, and the also leveling up of them and adding like moves, like level moves have different moves with the sets with the Pacific weapons. That's also makes it the variety not too stale. So that's pretty good. Um, yeah, I mean, actually, all in all, I like that they really changed it up. Like they really changed the game up. I guess technically in nine they did. I never did play nine because I just heard how bad it was. Um, but yeah, like this is good. Like I mean, it's not like these guys have been doing nothing because they've been doing, those freaking cross like games where you call the Zelda game, the Fire Emblem game, One Piece.
Yeah.
Like they've been doing those games there, so which are they have done really a good job with those games. So like doing this and taking this route is something new. And yeah, man. I was like, yeah, and I'm currently playing it now. Like it's funny, like I'm playing old Chinese, a Chinese game based on old Chinese history, even though it's done by Japanese. And then I'm playing like a game of Ghost of Tsushima, which is based like old Japan. I was like, hey, like I play this old like
Made
Asian
by a
historical.
Chinese company, ironically enough.
Like yeah, these old historical Asian games and things of that nature. Yeah, that's loosely based off of them. Stuff, but yeah, it's cool. All right,
Yeah.
man. So what's your number four?
All right, my number 4 is Donkey Kong Bonanza, and you had that one at number 6.
Yeah,
It's a game that initially it took me a little bit to find my rhythm with. Like it's immediately fun just kind of destroying the environment and the flexibility
yes,
of it all. But at the same time, for me, that can be a little distracting in like actually getting somewhere in the game and not having that progress is one of those things that I find myself allowing myself to fall away from games kind of quickly. But once I got more on the path forward, it definitely drew me in, especially once they introduced the things like the different transformations that add different powers and abilities. That really switches things up from just kind of the blow a hole through the level. I think the platforming is pretty solid. I don't know that it's not blowing me away in like a Mario Odyssey kind of way, but I think they are taking a twist on it enough that it's differentiating itself from that game and doing its own thing that is also successful. So far, I don't even know how far into it I am. I thought I was maybe like coming somewhat near the end, or maybe like a 60% of the way through the game. But then it felt like, because I was going down and then I was going back up, and now I feel like I'm going down again. So I think it's just taken me maybe down a different path than the one I had originally taken. It's a game that I think visually looks very nice. There is a little bit of kind of slow down, which is disappointing for a game on a new console, but I don't find really any of it too distracting immediately. I think what they're doing with Pauline, is that her name?
Paulina, I
Pauline?
thought her name, right?
Pauline, yeah. I think what they're doing with her and making her like a little rock star or whatever, and she's singing her songs while you're in these transformations, or she's singing these songs
Is
to
it
break
Lena
the
or
seals on
Pauline?
these things. Pauline, yeah, Pauline, I think it is. Paul. For some reason, that just doesn't sound right, right? Like,
I mean, it's
yeah,
spelled
no,
like
it's Pauline.
Pauline, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
Pauline.
okay.
Yeah, so I think that what they're doing with her character is cute. I don't know where it's going by the end of it. Am I going to be climbing a tower at the end of it and like holding her, going like, "What are we doing? Why is this world turned against me?" Um,
That's where Mario
but
comes.
exactly. Am I gonna is Baby Mario gonna be the final boss of this game? Um, but yeah, I finally like gave it more of a chance and like dedicated more time to trying to progress through it, and I think it is given back to me because of that. Like I think it's a game that, if you're willing to give it a try, then it's got some fun for you to have there.
Yeah, I had this game for number 6, and I thought, yeah, it seemed like a game that I would really enjoy because I like Super Mario Odyssey, and I heard like
Mm,
the guys who did that game, and
yeah.
comparisons to that. So I was like, you know what, yeah, and definitely the whole destructibility of the environments is what I've wanted since Red Faction, and like I've been wanting a game that does something to that nature, and in this cartoonish way, doing it is pretty cool too because he just be ridiculous, but like, and we couldn't get that in what I thought we was going to get it in was the Xbox game. What was it called? Crackdown 3, and like
Yeah.
they kind of tease us with it. Then they said, "Oh, it's just a multiplayer," and then it's like some freaking cyber world thing, and it's like this ain't the same. It's like, damn you, Microsoft. Yeah, but like, yeah, you don't really get the selectability. I mean, like, yeah, like certain games, like Battlefield, but it's like a first-person shooter type of thing, and it's not what I'm really looking at here. Like, I'm looking for like some type of third-person way of selectability, and it's used that you can go kind of crazy with, but still be used in a nice gameplay way, like Red Faction did, which I thought they were going to do another game too because they bought that remastered, but I guess it just wasn't there, or the company might have been sold to Tencent. I don't know what happened. But yeah, the whole Donkey Kong thing, like yeah, the whole 3D platforming, like Odyssey was pretty much probably the last platform I played. Really, I'm trying to think. Yeah, that was the last platform I played. And before that, it was a very long time before I played platform before that. Really, like so, yeah. I just barely played this game. Like I played just the beginning, just to get the feel of what the destructibility was. I saw like, wow, you can really just like bang on the walls and everything. And I was just kind of doing that for a bit, like just to get what the feel of the game is on the Switch too. But yeah, it's a game that I definitely would actually delve into to go deeper and play. So, and I just figured, yeah, this would be part of one of my top 10 games of all the games that came out today. Yeah, this definitely be my top 10. So yeah, I had number six. All right, so that was your number four. So now we're in our top three now. And for my number three, I got Expedition. Oh, Claire's Obscura Expedition 33. And this was a lot of people games of the year lists, and like
Yeah.
or at least like the top. And yeah, for me, I mean, because I did well, I almost beat it. Like I always do is fight the last boss, and but I'll get the some of the bad out the way first. With the game, like it's really with the doing the side missions. What they have here is because of them not having a map, and initially, like this is what they said, like at initially of the game. Like this is what's the game even before King came out. They said that there will be a mini map because they want you to have the idea of like exploring a new world. And it's like at that time I didn't care. It was like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. I mean, they make the game. That's the game they made. I mean, that's the game they made. I can't say it's bad because I don't know what I'm playing. I don't know exactly what I'm doing in the world. So as I did play the game and realized the mini map, at first it was okay because it seemed still kind of linear. But then I start seeing like, oh, some hidden stuff in places where I could just go another direction. Not like an open world kind of thing or like a big level, but enough where you can like miss something.
Right.
And I'm thinking like, okay, look, I get not having a mini map, fine, but I think you should have a map because at the end of the day, it is an expedition, and people who go on expeditions, I don't know people who don't make a map. Like I don't know if Lewis and Clark was like, we're just gonna go walk over there to the left of the country.
Yeah.
We're not
Half the
gonna
reason
map better
is
how we go.
charting the
Cause like you're just going like you're just telling like okay I'm just gonna go over there and y'all figure out how where we are. I mean, and we'll
we'll
figure
get
out
back and
how
I'll
to get
tell you
back
what I
home.
saw.
Yeah, if we make it back, like F it, we're just gonna go like just out journeying and not know what the hell we going. We're gonna keep going around until we walk back all the way around because the world first they know the world was around at that time. But like I'm thinking like, yeah, you should have like that's the way you do it. Like that's the way you make it so that people explore without like giving away locations. I mean, it has been done before. Like this is not novelty or something new. Like that's what you do. Like you make a fog of war. You make it so that yeah, I don't see where it's there. Or if you don't even want to make it like you don't know how big the area is, yeah, don't do it. Just make it like you walk there, but it creates something like you're charting. Because when it gets to the side missions, I want to know where I didn't go. Because now
Yeah.
I'm going places either I've been or I have to go a place I have been because I know maybe I probably missed something, but I don't know where exactly did I miss. And that creates time, and I don't have time to do that. Like I have things I want to do. I want to beat the game, but I'm somewhat of a completionist, like on things. I'm like, it ain't that many side missions. I just want to finish them. But you made it really hard for me to finish them, and like it kind of really pissed me off. So that's why I didn't really finish the game yet. But other than that, like the straight game though is great. The whole premise of the game, the idea of that you are in a world where there's some kind of being that creates every year. There's a number. It started at 100, and it goes down to whoever. If you're at that age, you disappear, and it just keeps going down. So now you're at a time when it's like only been 34 years, and like they're about to go now. The people who are 34, and like now they have, and every year there's also a time where they send out an expedition where they have people go over to try to stop this being on this island to please stop this so we can like humanity can go back to being what it was. And it gives an idea like this is France. This is actually literally France. Was France at some
Yeah.
point and something happened. Like, 'cause that's what I really didn't know. I didn't know if this was like a real place or like it's another world. It was another world, but it's a world that was like ours. But then something happened, like some catastrophe happened, and this being came. But then when I started going to the other island where you go to try to stop this, the patriots as they call her, I started seeing things as French. And at one time point, I saw the Eiffel Tower all bit, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is actually is like France. How the hell happened to the rest of the world? But they really effed up this part.
They're still doing
And
fine down there. It's just
yeah, oh
France.
yeah, yeah. And it's a lot of questions I have, which yeah, that's the create the mystery of the game. It's like understanding what is this place, and you do get those questions answered. You get everything answered. Um, and the gameplay of it is a turn-based gameplay, but it's a turn-based gameplay that's where your actions are timing. So that's what you see in a lot of turn-based games now. It's the timing of your hits and the timing of your blocks to make it more interactive and not just pressing a button.
Mhm.
It's really cool. Like each person has their own set of abilities and things. The voice acting is great. The music is great. Like it's just all for the graphics are okay. Like they're not your latest. Like they're not the best of quality. Like a triple A game. Like a triple A game traditionally has. Like
Yeah,
you can
you can
still
definitely
see,
tell
but
there was some budget
yeah,
there.
yeah. But it's still good. Like it's still good
Mhm.
enough. That it's not to a point where I'm like, man, this is just not good to look at. No,
It's what these
it's fine.
AAA should be aiming for so they don't spend
Yeah.
$20 billion on a game and then can't sell it.
Or make it not as long. They could probably make the graphics good. Just don't make it fucking this like super long or like so much other stuff in there. You know,
Yeah,
it's just yeah. I mean, it's just how
trade-offs.
you how you badge it, how you badge it. You know, and there's also other tricks to do with graphics to make them look really great too, without having probably to put the budget into it. But anyway, um, they yeah, it's yeah. It was like the intrigue. Really, the mystery of the story is really that keeps me in it. That's what I always love about RPGs. Like, if you got a good story, you'll keep me in there. Like, even the gameplay's not that good. I'll stay for the story. And but with this though, I got both.
Yeah.
I got and the environments like they are well done. Like going to this other world where like basically like physics is not um like it's weird. Like it's not traditional physics. Like yeah, you're still stuck on the ground and walking, but the things around you, like when like you're in a world where you're underwater, but you're not really underwater. It's so weird. Like you see whales swimming and stuff, but it's like, am I in water or not? Like, but that oh my god, that looks so good. That looks so beautiful. Um, but yeah, it this is well done, and the characters like you limit to like maybe like 5 characters or so, and like yeah, but you really get to know them like during the game, like the way like you really are closer with them with their interaction with each other, understanding them and the stories they have, their own personal stories. It's like this was a really well done game, and it's not super long. Like that makes it long is like maybe you doing some of the extra stuff, but even then, compared to what some of these RPGs do, no, it's not that long, and this is how I think it should be. Like, well, I don't say should. I'm sorry, because that's all like my personal preference. But I think some of these games should take a look at this too. Like, because some games, like, if I feel like it's too long, that means it's too long. Because like I shouldn't feel it. Like, it's one thing
Yeah.
that now if a game is like 60 hours and it feel like, and I'm good with those 60 hours, like it's like man, like I still want to play. I don't care how long this game is. Then okay, fine. Like then you did your job. But it's a point where I'm doing things and I'm like, I just want to get to the story. That means, yeah, you maybe should have added some things down there. And I think, as far as that, they did a good job with Expedition 33. And Yeah, this is um definitely one of the top games I played this year. I I wouldn't say it was a super surprise. I was really looking forward to this because after the Xbox Direct that showed it off, even the first time, like in 2024 when they showed it off, like when the Xbox events, and then it showed off again in 2020, beginning of 2025. I was like, yeah, I this is the game. It's like, man, I'm looking forward to this game. It's like, let's see how this turns out, man. And yeah, it's like, wow, this yeah turned out really really damn good. Like it's um I didn't see it like being like a stop game before it came out, but yeah, I was wondering like, yeah, I definitely see it's probably going to be up there because people are going to see
Yeah.
like it's an indie game, and for them to do what they did with this, is like amazing compared to what other guys have done, and yeah, and good on them.
Yeah. Took the world by storm.
Yeah. Right. So, what's your number three, man?
All right, my number 3 is Blueprints. This is a game that I spent a lot of time with this year, and it very easily could have been my number 1 game if it weren't for the fact that it was a roguelike. That is obviously a main part of what makes this game a game. At its core, it is you entering this mansion, and you are basically getting dice rolls of different rooms that allow you to either progress or solve new riddles and mysteries, or stumble upon new riddles and mysteries. And that's really where it ends up falling apart. I've talked about it before, but it's a game that later in the game, what you would consider, I guess, like the end game, or what I would consider the end game, it starts to feel like it's not respecting your time because of these RNG dice rolls. Basically, you don't always get the rooms that you need. Well, you don't always get the rooms that you want, and you definitely don't always get the rooms that you need. And as such, I found myself stumbling upon more and more mysteries that I wanted answers to without ever really getting answers on my previous mysteries. I mean, this is a game that I haven't even actually reached the last room, which isn't the end all be all, but it is at least like, hey, this is the original laid out goal of the game, to quote unquote beat this game, right? And then there's all these other mysteries that you find along the way. I think the puzzle solving of it all is very creative. I think everything except for the fact that sometimes your progression is tied to, well, all the time your progression is tied to the roll of a die, is close to perfection. I think visually it is very interesting. It's a very kind of different art style. It's cell shaded, but in a relatively not so cartoony world. It has those elements because it is pretty cell shaded, but I don't think they're going for like a Link's Awakening, for instance, right? Um, there's no real dialogue. There's just things that you're reading. You're a solo person in this house, in this mansion, exploring it, trying to reach this final room. And all of the mysteries that they're setting up, I think, are really interesting, and I would love to get the answers to. But I feel like I'm fighting against the game to get those answers, and it's nothing that I'm necessarily doing wrong. It's just that that day is effectively going to be a write off because I didn't get this room in this position, or I got dead ended in this portion of the house.
It becomes a game of
Um,
patience.
it does. It really does. And part of it is like, Okay, I think maybe the idea is that they're giving you so many mysteries at once in hopes that like one of those you'll be able to progress through. And you have to be flexible to that, right? Like, okay, I'm going to come into this wanting to find like the secret garden. And to do that, I need this tool and this tool and this tool. Okay, but it looks like I'm not going to get that today, but I've got this room, which means I can do this. So I should go for that. But maybe I'm even thinking about that too hard. Maybe it really is just like we wanted to create a lot of content, and also the RNG of it all kind of sucks. Um, it really is a game that like I wish I could say more positive things about, because it just kind of came out of nowhere. It's not from a studio that's like well established. This is their first game. They have people that have done things before, but it's not like I was coming into it with really high expectations outside of what I was hearing from like games media stuff. Obviously they got their hands on it first, and I was hearing a lot of positives from that. And I don't really have that much negative to say about it outside of the fact that maybe the puzzle genre doesn't meld so well with the RNG genre unless you do it in a different way. Because this is a game like I still think about going back to, but I mean, at this point, it would be so hard for me to go back to strictly for the fact that I don't remember a lot of what was going on, like a lot of those mysteries, because they're pretty in depth. Like this really is a game. I saw a lot of people talking about like writing notes and keeping a notebook for this kind of stuff. And it really is kind of one of those games where you have to, okay, well, this happened on this date and this and that. And it's not quite missed. But it is complicated. And there are some easier kind of mysteries and puzzles and riddles and stuff that you see pretty frequently, and I think they use that to juice you a little bit, to keep you going and feel like you're succeeding. um and that's what makes me want to jump into another day and see if like this is the day that's going to be the day where I can get there. um one of my runs, I got to the door of the room, to go into the quote unquote final room. But then I was like coming at it from the wrong direction. And because of that, I needed to have activated some other thing, but that thing's not in any of the rooms that I have in my house. And I've exhausted my options. I only, this is the only path that I had, because I was basically like beelining it for this final room, not thinking about the fact that, oh, there might be some kind of nonsense, shenanigans for me to actually get inside the room. So I learned my lesson there, but at the same time, it, I there are only so many lessons I can learn if the game is like pushing back against me trying to achieve my goals. And I wish there are power-ups I know in the game that do alleviate some of that, like allow you to re-roll rooms and place a specific thing here and there. But this isn't really one of those, like the kind of roguelikes I like are the ones where at the end of the day, even a failed run will result in something that will potentially upgrade you to make you more powerful, so that at the end of the day, the game will be achievable, right? Like, even if it takes me forever, like a game like Rogue Legacy, right? Like, so many generations I died in that game. So many generations were killed. But because every generation I was getting more gold, which led me to upgrading my armor or something like that, eventually I was able to get through it. This, it doesn't feel like every run I'm gaining something that will then help me in my next run. Occasionally I'll find, this thing that means tomorrow I'll get something in the mail. I'll get 20 gems in the mail. Or, oh, there's a freezer in this run. I can take, one item and put it in the freezer and get it on my next run if I find a freezer in that next run. And, there's a 50% chance that I will, or now, or like a 60% chance or something like that, or put it in the hat room or the coat room or whatever. Um, it all feels a little too left up to chance for me to like give this my top honor, but I really did have a lot of fun with this game this year. Um, until I just didn't anymore. So that's why it does crack my top 3, but it really feels like that's as far as it can go.
Yeah, I had it at number 6. Was it number 6? Because I'm not up here.
7.
7. Yeah, I had this at number 7. Because like I like the intrigue, the whole mystery, and trying to figure out these rooms and stuff. Like I really like that. Like I like mystery in games.
Mhm.
I mean, even horror mystery games, I like them. I just can't play them, unfortunately, and that sucks. But this, like, I was like, yeah, I want to figure out these rooms and things of that nature. This came at the same time as I think South at Midnight came out around that time, and I was playing another game too. So it was a lot of things
Right. That's
kind of
what it
happened.
was. I knew there was another game that came out around the time South of Midnight did, and that's why I fell off of it. And this was that game, yeah, because I locked into this game so hard.
Yeah. So I was definitely I played this a bit, definitely not as much as you, but I played a bit of it, and yeah, and I liked some of the mystery stuff I was solving. But it was just other things to do, and yeah, I couldn't because when I realized like that's gonna probably take a while for me to really get deep into this. That I was like, okay, I have to come back to this. This is what I'm going to put down because I see Daniel playing it. He could talk about this. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the whole like, yeah, just like you said with the RNG element, I can definitely see. Yeah, it's really about if I'm patient enough to keep going, even though like, yeah, it's not really me doing anything wrong, but I don't like help. It's not going to work this run. It's yeah, because I wish that what they did was that you get to a point in the game where you get to a certain room where like, hey, you solved this and now the rooms are locked. Like,
Mhm.
so all you have to do is just solve the puzzles now. Like,
Right.
well, like the puzzles that are left anyway. Like, it's not that, oh, you just streamline to the end. No, like, yeah, you probably get to the door, but you can't open it. You got to solve the room. But you got to a point in the game where you were able to um, lock it in a way, the house, you ready to lock the house in a way where it can't change anymore. Like, you done
Right.
enough to that point. That's what I kind of wish was a thing there that did that, where like, okay, so yeah, okay, yeah, I did like enough where I can do that. Or I mean, not that you can. I mean, but there's like it's open, like you can still solve it because like I said, the RNG element. But there's also something where, hey, if I do this, solve this, I can now set it where all I have to do is figure out how to get to that last room. Um, I wish there was something there for that because I keep the random at that point because like, okay, look, man, I know what to do now to really get there. I just have to get to that freaking portion of the room now. Yeah, it's that would really suck. Like to get there, but the overall uh, being I like it. Like this is the puzzle. This puzzle game is something that I don't know. Like I'm like, was this like this? Because it didn't seem like it was like this. Like I never really thought I would like a game like this, but the way this was done was in a way that I understood it, and um and it kept me intrigued. So I was like, oh, so would I have like Mist or Riven, like
Yeah.
now, or like a variation of that or something? Because my dad sure did like it. And you know what? And I think Seventh Guest was definitely like that. Like Seventh Guest had that hard element to it, but it wasn't. It was really the puzzles that was the game.
Mhm.
And as a kid, I didn't even know how to really solve the puzzle. I think the only puzzle I ever did was that first cake puzzle. 'Cause that was the first thing. Like I would just do that, and I always messed up on that puzzle. But like now I understand it more, and that and yeah, I think that's where essentially what that was, and that was like a thing of intrigue, and it wasn't. It had like scariness, but it wasn't like because you were watching what things were happening. Like the things couldn't just come kill you. At least at the point when I was watching my dad play, I didn't see like I see a ghost sometimes go in the hallway, but it couldn't kill you. It just kind of like whoa, something like that. But uh, so like I'm like, oh, okay, so yeah, those games maybe I would have. I really like them. I just always took up like, yeah, they're not my type of games, but the blueprints really show like, oh man, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like this with the whole little story to it, and like, yeah, you're trying to figure this out and something of that nature. Now, there's also those puzzle games where you're just jumped in this world, and it might be a story there, but you only develop the story as you go on. As you like, you might see things in the world that might tell you why this is, and I'm not too big on that because I don't want. I mean, I still want a setup. I don't want to be a setup where I'm like, I have amnesia. I don't know what the fuck is happening here. Like, I don't want that. I want something to know, like, how I got here, and then like and then go from there. Um, but yeah, um, that's why I still like had it in my top. At first, I didn't have it in my top, but then I thought like I did enjoy what I played. Like, I enjoyed what I played in this game, and I thought it looked really cool. It was really neat, and yeah, man. Yeah, this is like, it's one of those top games of last year. That yeah,
Yeah.
it stood the test. I mean, throughout the year to at the end, that people still were talking about it. All right, so now we're in our top two now. So my number two is Hades 2, the sequel to one of my games of the year some years ago.
Yeah.
So Hades 2, this time you're not playing as the son of Hades, you're playing as the daughter of Hades. And it does take after the events of Hades 1. Um and yeah, so but now in this story, you are not with your family. Like you have not seen your family since you were a baby, so you don't really remember anything about them at all, really. So you, because your grandfather Kronos has come back to get revenge of what was done to him and his other brothers of the Titans, and he has taken over Hades. And he's like what the god time. He controls time or whatever. And so now you're going back to avenge your family. Your family is, I mean, of course, they're still alive. I mean, they're mortals, but they you're trying to save them. They're captured basically by him, and you're going to take Tell back and get your family back and be together again with them. You've been staying with darn, I forgot her name, some witch lady in this forest, and so and now you see all these new characters. Like in the first game, I think you saw what's his name? Arc the guy Achilles. Like you remember you saw Achilles, who was a hero of human hero or stuff like that.
Mhm.
Gods and like a hero of the gods and the people, whatever. And this one is Odysseus. Like, because at first I kept thinking like Odysseus was the guy from the last game, but then I had went back to Hades 1. I was like, oh no, it wasn't Odysseus in that one. That was Achilles. Um, then you see some other people, because some other people that you like Nyx, you don't see um in this one. I mean, you probably see her like in some other status, like in the game, but she's not the regular you see. You see other like other people, other gods, like well, like yeah, other like semi gods, like I mean, they're not demigods because they're not human, but they're not the top gods, but you know of them. And
Yeah.
I can't think of all their names right now, but like I know one of them is what's her name? The one of chaos. Her freaking name. Oh well, no, not chaos. I'm sorry, not chaos. Let me see. Characters of Hades 2. All right, yeah, okay. Hecate is the one who took you in. Um,
Mhm.
and she controls stuff. I don't know. But like she then you got Nemesis, who is like a person you always see. She's kind of a little cold to you. Um, then you have Dora, who I don't know who she is. I think you might maybe we figure it out as the story goes on. She's like this ghost girl who's in your room, who's kind
Yeah.
of friends with you, but she has like a split personality because she has one personality, but she all
Yeah.
like evil stuff and ever. Of course, I say Odysseus. Then you have you meet Moros, who is like the why is it they just take me to pictures? I don't want a picture. I want this like actual thing. He's the like Doom. Yeah, he's like Doom, and he's what you see before you die. He's a nice guy though. It's just unfortunate that people don't like him because he's what you see before you die. Uh, then you have then you have some of the gods that you see, like Artemis seems to be really close to you. She was in the first game. Um, the Demeter or Demeter. She appeared in the first one. I forgot in what capacity. I don't remember seeing her all the time, but she's like your grandmother because she's your mother's mother. Um, I know you see Hera. I don't remember seeing Hera in the first one. And yeah, you definitely see her in this one. But anyway, yeah, like so you definitely see new characters. Selene, the god of like night or something like she whatever goddess of night. Like yeah, you more oh well sorry Morse. Of course Carrion, you sell him from the first game. But yeah, it's a lot of figures that you meet in this game that's new. Voice acting is great as always, just like from the first one. You still have the skeleton dude. Um there you always test your weapons out on who's okay with being abused. Um, but like so now in this game, like what's the difference between that and for new characters? Like, well, now like new weapons, of course, but like they're so like the weapons are now much more like vast and like of their upgrades and what they can do like differently. Like it's a lot of upgrades you can do. Like to these weapons, and that creates like the like a huge variety of ways to go through the dungeons. Um, Also some new abilities. I believe now you can run constantly, which you couldn't do because I did play Hades 1, and I was kind of playing it like I was playing Hades 2, and I noticed like can't just keep running. When I hit the run button, I can't just keep running. Like I could just zoom. While in this one, I know you can constantly run, which I that's a good new thing because I always use it, and because I'm always constantly running. Also, like, but so you do initially do zoom though, like the it does have a fast paced zoom, and then you just run. Um, which in the first way you just kind of just zoom, so you still like running. You can't probably outrun some things. You still want to have they still have the meter where it comes back where you can just kind of zoom quickly again. Uh, Also with the different gods, you got different upgrades for like when you finish a portion of the dungeon and use as you go to the dungeon. Um now you're also taking a new route, so you're not going the same places you've gone before through it. Like you go through some place that's kind of in between the water and hell, I guess. I don't know what this place is. It almost seems like a water system, like not really a sewer though. I don't know how would you describe it. I guess maybe I don't know, but it looks weird. Like, it's supposed to be a place, I guess, in between, like I said, hell and the ocean, like and that's where you fight the sirens, which is pretty fun, like pretty cool, and like a cool song. They be singing while you fight them. Um, and they also you can have like these creatures that do things. Like I'm at a point where I can have like a pet or whatever, where my pets can go do something. Like I got the frog. I just unlocked the a cat. I think I haven't used the cat yet. I know the frog is able to get these souls for me where I don't have to put these buttons anymore. It can just do it for me or whatever. I'm not sure
Mhm.
what the cat does, so I haven't used it. You also have of course, just I think like in the previous games, like well, no, actually I don't know if they just the previous games. I know you can just with the tarot cards. I want to say, I mean that wasn't in the game before, no, but like they also add um things to your like to your runs, like things that help you on your runs, and then you have, I mean, it's just so much. Like it adds so much to this, and like it creates a whole lot of variety. And this is not really a huge spoiler. I think you probably noticed. Like you can also go up now. Like you can go up to the
Mhm.
surface because it gets to a point in the game where there's the gods ask you for help or something, and you can go up through there. So you got actual dungeons up there to go through. So it like this game is like it's a lot there. Like they really improved on a game that was already great, and like I didn't think, like I really honestly thought it was like it's gonna be more of the same, which was fine. It was fine, but it wasn't something like I'm not gonna put it as probably my top game. Like it wouldn't be as high. Like I'll think like
Mhm.
Hades 2, maybe it'll be a game at the bottom. Like honestly, if I never did play what I played this year of it, because I played more of it in 2026 at the beginning of the year, until now, than last year, I probably would have had it closer to the bottom, honestly. But after playing so much of this game and getting so far in it, that I'm like, man, they did it again. They created a great game again and improved upon what they had. And the story is great. Like I definitely want to go through more to see where it goes from there. And they're not showing the girl who is it Cersei? Yeah, Cersei. Cersei is the one, I believe. Is the one. No, it's not. Well, she don't look like Cersei. This Cersei looks different from the one. No, this is not Cersei. It is not Cersei. Why don't they have her here? Oh, the rest. She's under the rest. Eris. Okay. She's the Strife. There he is. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, because she's I get annoyed with her. I get really annoyed with her. That like yeah, Strife. Oh, but there's a Kristen Chaos. Like she's someone who's like the gods, where you see her doing your run, but she causes problems. Like she causes like you want to get harder, but if you get through whatever she says, like hey, if you go through like two stages or three stages of something going wrong, like half health or whatever, if you get through that three times, you'll get something that really helps you though. Like so, it's a trade off. So it's good to look at that. Wow, I'm spoiling the game by looking at just the characters. Jesus, I play a lot of this game, and there's still people I haven't seen yet. Like
Yeah.
I've done a lot. Oh, just so you know, like beating Chronos the first time, like actually get to Chronos is not it. That's not the end.
Yeah.
And I always want to know if I was able just to get to Hades in the first one, what would happen? I honestly don't know because the time I beat him, I was kind of went through a lot of the story, and it was the end. Well, endish. There was a little bit stuff after, but Chronos, like, yeah, you will have to go see him again um, after you beat him, and you'll know why. Like and it's not like a surprise. It's almost like you knew that was going to happen. Like you weren't going to just kill him because obviously you can't kill a
Mhm.
god. And so I was like, oh, okay, because that's what I was wondering. Because one time I was like, man, I'm almost getting to Chronos now, and I'm like, I don't feel like I've done a lot of story. Like I haven't talked to everybody. It's like I don't want to
Yeah.
beat it, but I was like, okay, I'm not close to beating it. So yeah, this game is good, man. Definitely one of my top games, and that's what's number two.
Nice.
So, well, I might as well. I'll just go to your number one because your number two is my number one. So,
Yeah, so I was gonna
what?
actually suggest we jump to my number one, and then we can talk
Yeah,
about your number one and my number two last, since it's kind of the top between the two of us.
yeah, exactly.
Um, Plus, you just talked. I don't want to make you continue on for much
Yeah,
longer.
exactly.
Um, yeah, so my number one is Hollow Knight Silk Song. Basically, after the long wait, it's kind of become a joke, when we would see Silk Song again. It's been so long. But despite, I think, pretty high expectations, I think this game came out and met them. I think it was kind of a rough year for the game because surprisingly, like, this is a game that I don't really see at the top of a lot of people's lists. It's typically on there if they're a fan of kind of the genre. But it's not like Expedition 33 kind of blew away the competition this year, right? And like it almost felt like regardless of who you were and what kind of genres you typically play, that game was just there. So it feels like in a lot of ways, Hollow Knight is kind of Silk Song is kind of slipped into the background a little bit. But for what it is, a Metroidvania with pretty difficult combat, um, but achievable, I think. There's definitely I'm not through the game, so I might be speaking out of turn here. There might be bits later in the game where I just bang my head against it and eventually give up. Um, Hollow Knight, the original, did kind of feel like that, but that was more me not necessarily knowing where to go, and I what didn't really want to engage too much with like a guide at the time, and I just didn't know if like I was beating my head up against a boss that I shouldn't be fighting or bosses that I shouldn't be fighting, or if I needed to be better. So far in this game, I haven't run into that issue. There was one enemy that I was definitely having some difficulty with, but there were so many other directions that I could go in that it wasn't really an issue. I was able to find my way into something else. And I've definitely consulted a guide occasionally. There was one bit where I just didn't understand that I could interact with the background because the background was like a hut, but I don't even think I realized that it was like a building shaped thing. So I didn't realize, oh, there's a door here that I can go up into and then I can get the next upgrade that I needed. Um, but following the tradition of the first game, this game looks like a flash game. It's very flat shaded, it's very large sprites, but I think it's very beautiful. I think the environments that they've designed are still very well done. I think the characters are very distinct in their silhouettes. They're very easy to follow on the screen. I I like a lot, and maybe Hollow Knight had this mechanic, but in this one, I was having trouble with the boss, and then one of my little friend bug buddies was like, "Yo, do you need help? You want me to fight alongside you?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, come on through." And like, it's still a computer player, so they're more just a distraction for the boss, so I can get in a couple extra hits.
Yeah,
But that was enough for me to be able to get through that. So if they're doing things like that to open up the accessibility of the game, to alleviate some of that pressure of some of these bosses that can be a little more obtuse, then like I'm all for that. Um I've seen pictures of the map for this game, and it is far larger than what I have unlocked, like tenfold, it feels like almost. So it feels like this game is gigantic, which, for me, has its ups, has its downs. But having played this, before like a Metroid Prime 4, I think really solidified my issues with that game because I had already had a good example of a Metroid style game earlier in the year by like a month or two in this game. And this game really set expectations that were very clearly not met, based on what I've said about Metroid. Hopefully Nintendo can take this as an example, and there are several others that we've seen as of late, and maybe get that back on the right track. But this is a
Nintendo
game
don't pay
that
attention to nobody else.
they really don't. They play by their own rules. Um, but I think this is a game that it's going to be one of those games where like I pick up and play a little bit here and I pick up a little bit and play there. And maybe it's like 2 years from now where I finally like finish the game. But I'm going to have pretty much enjoyed it the entire time that I spent with it. There's definitely going to be moments where I'm like, pissed off that I got killed by a boss and now I have to do like the boss run where the save spot is like a little further away than I really would have liked it to be, because that is one of the downsides to the difficulty of this style of this game. But for the most part, what I've come across so far hasn't been too bad. I've definitely heard about at least one instance later in the game that is like kind of a bullshit move from the developers. But hopefully that is mitigated in some way by the time I get it. I don't know if they've updated anything or done anything like that. I feel like I definitely heard initially, like maybe within a week of launch, that they had tweaked something to make something, a little bit better or more playable. But yeah, I think this game is, at the end of the day, when I look at all of these games on this list and what I've played, once I'm at the end of this game or once I'm done with this game, whether I have finished it or not, this is going to be the game that I look most positively at over this past year.
Okay. I mean, that's the wrong answer, but that's okay. All right. All right. So my number one game is Ball Pit.
Yeah.
Ball Pit, which has come to a surprise. Never even heard of it before it came out. Didn't know nothing about this game. It came on Game Pass. I kind of saw some of you people saying like, "Hey, this game is somewhat addictive and whatever," and I was like, "Okay, let me go try it out then." And what you do in this game is you are a person. It's a top-down game, and you are a person who shoots these balls out. And depending on the characters shoot the balls out different ways and do different things. But basically, you're shooting the ball at a ton of enemies, which are coming down against you. And thing is, they're constantly coming, almost like Space Invaders, like kind of way, and that you have to kind of hit. You can actually you bounce the balls off the wall, like you kind of use physics to like the way you want to bounce the ball, and then as you kill enemies and you get these orbs which level you up, you can then level your character. Now this is a roguelike. First of all, I should say like this. So it's a roguelike game, so I'm like, yeah, I like roguelike. So yeah, let me go ahead and do that. And so it kind of like Vampire Survivor or something like that, along those lines, just in a different kind of game like genre, but still a roguelike. And you still do the things where you level up, and each time you have a different ability to make yourself stronger. So you get different balls. You might get balls that might freeze them, balls put you on fire, balls like that are just super strong or fast or go through. It's like a whole variety of them, and then you can combine them as you can suddenly combine those abilities to make a ball that has both of them, and it creates even more variety of balls you can go against them. Then you can also get it where like, hey, your character can be faster, you can shoot your balls faster and things of that nature. And yeah, it just feels so good, like just going through it and playing against the enemies, and then you go to different stages. Now, in between each stage, your runs, either you lose a run or you beat the run, you go up into like this blank slate, which is like supposed to be your town or whatever, because that's where you get to a point where you kind of build buildings, and like you're building it. Like, I guess the story is that your town has, I don't even know why you don't have a town. Maybe your town got destroyed or something, whatever. But a big hole is down there, the pit, I guess, and that's where you go get your materials for your town to help build up your town. So as you go up, you unlock things, and you unlock things on your runs, and then when you unlock them, you have to have the materials to build them. So then that's where you build certain things. Like you start out building stuff like a farm and stuff. So then also need people to farm it. So what they do is not really Simsish. You shoot the guys that you have acquired that goes into the pit, and you kind of shoot them like you shoot your balls on the in when you're doing your pit run, and to go farm. Like they go out and grab whatever they can for a limited time, And as the game goes on, you can make it longer. You get more people, so you can unlock more things. And when you want to build up something in your town, you actually have to interact with the building by shooting your people at them. So like it's a weird thing, like a weird way of like helping to build your character, because as you build stuff in your town, it builds up the characters you have to make them stronger when going to the pit. And like, 'cause so like if you build up something like a school, I think it gives something to you like intelligence. I think it's something with magic. I don't know. Then things of that nature. Like, so then yeah, after a while you build up stuff. You can build a mine, and how the mine works is that like you put a character in your mine, but you also have to hit them with your people. Like usually only could get one turn per run to shoot your guys up to get resources in your city. It's like eventually you build up like a whole town, like with different stuff, and you can upgrade the buildings. And when upgrading the buildings, it helps your characters. So it creates a whole other game, but it's whole highly addictive, man. And it just like I just put a lot of hours in it, especially at the time of me going through what I went through. I have been going to out of town a lot, and so me having that on the Switch definitely helped. And like I would play the hell out of that game on the Switch. And also it is on Game Pass. So that's how I got to really know the game. So like I was like, yeah, I want to buy this on the Switch. So when I take it away, because I don't know how long I will have Game Pass to be playing it on the
Yeah.
phone, whatever. So I don't, yeah, I can't rely on that. But yeah, and now that I switched to the Switch 2 version, and it's like, I mean, the graphics, I mean, they look slightly better. I mean, it definitely runs faster. So there
Yeah.
is something to that. But yeah, it's just so addictive. I just like the going through the whole cycle, and yeah, and actually figuring out what to do in the town, like how to do it. Like there are strategies how to build things faster. I constantly have to move buildings around just so I can use them to my advantage. But then I have to put them back because there are some buildings that are like, hey, they do things in a rotation, and they
Mhm.
produce better if they're connected to another building. They're close to another building. So it's like, oh, okay. So it, yeah, it creates a variety to the game. Like it's not just a
Right.
simple, like it could have been just a simple, just regular ball pit run, and it could have been like a fine game with that and just level up. But them added that adds more to it, and yeah, who knows what these updates they're gonna have, man. So it's like, hey, we got it. this is like another Vampire Survivor for me. This is another game
Yep.
where it's a game that I can constantly go back to. It's easy to go back to, and it definitely like fills the void. Like if I just want something quick to play without really delving into, like something too complicated or anything, and just go ahead and play, man. And yeah, man, these guys did it. Like it's like good on them, man. And this game, yeah, it yeah, that's why it's my top game because this is one of those games that yeah, like I would never like. It's just funny in the days of yore, like and like early probably probably even late 360, like 360 era before. Like these games, I probably would like them, but I probably would never put them as my top. Like I was
Yeah.
really into the triple A space like of games, and the indie space was like yeah, it's like it was okay. It had to be something like a Castle Crashers to really get me to even look at them or whatever. Like I just was like, hey, it's not my thing. And but as I grow, like I wanted to just get some variety, do some new things, see some new games because like I was like, okay, some of these games are a little samey. Let me see some of these indie games that's really different. Like, will I really like them? Let me just try them out. And yeah, they turn like say, wow, this definitely makes things like to stop the monotony of like certain games. Like I can like between these long RPGs or action games or adventure games, like doing games like this, man, like in between the time, man, it's like, yeah, definitely works for me. And like
Yeah.
I've seen quite a few of these games now. And yeah, it's cool. So you had this at number two, actually, which I was a little surprised you had it so high.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones that I haven't spent as much time with as I'd probably like to. Um, but it's gonna have a long tail on it, I think. I'm gonna get back to it eventually, and then I'm probably not gonna stop playing it for a while. I had some difficulty, like I don't love the idea that in order to progress down to like the next level, I had to beat the game or beat that level with two of my characters. Because I feel like,
Oh, I
and
think you
maybe
do it
it's
for
just
more. You gotta do it for more for after
later levels.
yeah,
I
later levels,
believe
yeah.
that. Um, but and maybe that's like where they need more content versus like trying to lock me behind stuff. But since I haven't gotten to that part, I'm still just kind of messing around with the beginning levels. And to your point with like building the stuff and having that town in between the gameplay, it also serves as that thing I like in roguelike games where it gives me the ability to upgrade my characters so that my next run might be easier. Um, or unlock new characters that might make my run easier. Like I haven't been able to beat the first level with the knight, but I was able to do it with the red guy who looks like an old Robin Hood or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think he starts out with like a bleed effect or something on his weapon. Um, and there very much is kind of an RNG element to it. Like, what upgrades do you get? Um, I haven't actually gotten back to it since I started watching some of like the more strategy videos because initially I was a little disappointed initially because I wanted more of a brick breaker game where I'm trying to volley the ball back and forth or yeah, the ball back and forth more actively. And I felt like, oh, it doesn't really matter if I miss it, it's just going to bounce off the back wall and then I'll, go again. Um, but when you realize like, oh, if you actually do actively quote unquote catch the ball, you're in the way of the path of the ball, then that allows you to shoot quicker, which does improve the strategy and improve your ability to, get the more balls onto the field to knock out more enemies. So once I started playing it in less of a passive way, it started to feel more engaging there. Um, And like you said, as you progress and you get like this upgrade, and then you're able to combine those much in the same way that Vampire Survivors similarly had that element where you get these like mega evolution kind of things. That stuff is really neat, combining, I don't know, this laser with that laser and getting like a rock slide or whatever, or earthquake or something like that. I love all of the like area of effect things where it's like, okay, I don't necessarily have to hit this specific enemy, but if I hit one guy in this row, it's gonna, do damage on this whole row or this whole column. I thought it was an interesting choice to like be able to make the game more or less pixelated with like a slider. I think I ended up turning that stuff off. It's also got like the CRT filter stuff too that you can do. But generally it's like you said, it's another Vampire Survivors. It's another one of those games that is so easy to pick up and play. And even when the runs feel like they're going a little long, once it ends, you just want to get right back into it because you're
Yeah.
like, well, that didn't go quite the way I wanted it to. Let me try that again. Especially now, I built this building that gives me 10% extra this or 5% extra that. And that's without me even getting into some of the things I've heard about where you have these more complex characters later on in the character selection.
Oh yeah, man. You get
Um,
these like you got characters who shoot from the back,
yeah.
and like yeah, I had to figure out really how to do that. Like when a game with them, and then you have characters who don't shoot white balls, but they just shoot the the
The
actual
special
like
ones.
the specials.
Mhm.
But then you get to a point where you can have two characters at a time. So you combine two people, and that's
Yeah.
basically how sometimes I win runs with those characters that seem really like I don't know how to win runs. I win runs that way by having them
Mm.
with team up with somebody else.
So I just think overall that game is fantastic. I think they nailed it. I don't know if they learned from Vampire Survivors or if this game existed, was being developed alongside that and they didn't really know about Vampire Survivors at the time, but it feels pretty heavily influenced by that. Like they saw, okay, let's take some of this classic gameplay and apply it to a roguelike, and let's make sure we have these engaging combinations and things that are going to keep the players coming back
And you
to
have a
keep trying.
choice. Unless the character is something specific. Like there's a character that auto shoots automatically, but you
Mhm.
could also turn that on for all characters to be auto.
Yeah.
Um, to like if you like, because yeah, and that actually creates another strategy within itself, like a different type of game. Because um, because now the thing's auto shooting, that means you have to just know where the ball is if you try to catch it,
Right.
whatever. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool that they let you just change it up, but like that though. Like I was, because
Mhm.
sometimes that was actually more beneficial for me in
Yeah,
some
and
instances.
slow down and speed up the gameplay too
Yeah. Oh yeah,
at
they
the
have
push
it
of a
so that
button.
yeah, they let you do that. They let you like, oh, you wanna go hyper because sometimes yeah, when I got like strong, I put that thing on super speed so I could get through a run because I was like, yeah, I'm trying to just get some materials, so I was like, yeah, put
Yeah,
that on freaking fast because I could at the end
I
like
can
I
melt
can
these guys
yeah
away. Yeah.
yeah because I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I gotta play that. I haven't played since they had that DLC, that free DLC in there. So I haven't tried that out yet.
Mhm.
But yeah, I played a ton of that game, like on the Switch, the Xbox, like the Game Pass version. That's where I experiment on because like I sometimes
Okay.
I turn cheats on and stuff just to try things out, just to see what happens with things. I've been messing around with bit on that. front, like just doing different stuff. But like the Switch, of course, has cheats. That's what I just really just play a lot of and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I guess that's it then. Because yeah, you do number one. So I guess overall, I guess our number one game will be Mario Kart. That will be our so somehow the math worked out to that game being number one. Mario Kart World. I don't know how that
The
worked.
Nintendo money bag is just deposited in my account. That's how that worked out.
It's like I was joking. Nah, it looks like Ball Pit will probably win just because it's my one and that's your two.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be SupaPod's number one game, Ball Pit, for 2025. And it's actually a game we played,
Yeah.
So it's not even.
It seems appropriate.
I think most times, even if it's a game I might didn't play or something, it's always been a game we played that was number one. That one of us at least played.
Yeah, usually.
The yeah. So now I guess we just get to a couple of our what's the word? Is it I'm looking for
honorable mentions?
Yeah, honorable mentions that we had that we didn't say on the list, but games that we did like. So I guess I'll go with one of mine's, which was I think it was one of the what you had, Ghost of Yotai. Was an honorable mention for me. Just because I've been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima, I kind of figured like, yeah, Ghost of Tsushima will be a game. It might be on my top game, but I'm not sure, and I'm not sure how I would feel about it after playing Ghost of Tsushima. Like, will I be like, oh, I don't want to play any more of this type of game, or
it's a little
what?
burnout,
yeah. So, but I will put it up there because I did hear good things about it. But and honestly, like I didn't at the time, like Ghost of Tsushima, I did like, but I wasn't totally in until actually just recently, just coincidentally recently. So I liked it, but I didn't know like how much I liked it. So yeah, I was honorable mention Ghost of Yotai. Will be up there for me. Oh yeah, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, it's Hades too. Just like Ghost of Yotai, you had this on your list. It's a game that there were so many things coming out around that time. I think Hollow Knight came out around the same time as Hades 2. So at that time, I was kind of devoting my time to working my way through that. So I haven't really gotten the chance to give Hades 2 the chance that I want to. But I know it's an awesome game. It looks cool. It's got the style, obviously. It's got all the sexy gods. And it's got that same style of gameplay as like Ball Pit, right? Where you just I'm ready to get back into another run. I'm
Yeah,
gonna talk to
exactly.
these people real quick in this room, but really I just want to get back to it and see if how far I can get this time, what powers I'm gonna end up with, and who I can take down before they take me down.
I also have honorable mentions. Another game on your list, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I did really like that game. I mean, it's definitely fun. Like just like the other two games, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and not Ninja God. I'm sorry. And Streets of Rage 4. Yeah, Streets of Rage 4. And like it definitely gives that feel of nostalgic of like beat 'em up without by being also new, like a new game, and that Marvel element to it. Yeah, that's cool. Like what they did, license, like what they did with Ninja Turtles. It's just like you did something cool with the license. That's simplistic, but very but in a simplistic way, but very engaging and like well done. Like it's not done in like I guess basically phone games. That's what they do now these days. Those type of licensed games. Like it's something that's like it's like this is just there. They're just trying to build the license and add some game here that's adequate. Nah, this is really well done. And it gives you the feel. It gives the feel of a '90s. even though it takes place. I mean, even though it's now, but it kind of has that '90s feel, like they're purposely done with the game. Like it's even the characters, some of the characters in there are not even from that decade. They're new, but it's like they purposely even made it to feel like, oh, this looked like it could have been something that was in the '90s.
Yeah.
You got? I know you have another game.
Yeah, I got one more. Mario Kart World.
Ooh.
Despite it being a step back from Mario Kart 8, anything was going to be a step back from Mario Kart 8. I still had a lot of fun with it. It felt like relatively short-lived fun because of the lack of content compared to Mario Kart 8. Even with the open world stuff is just kind of so barren. It doesn't have that much to engage with. There's still more for me too.
Why is you
And
mentioning this honorable mentions? Because you're
because
not telling me a reason why right now. You tell me reason why
I really liked it a lot. I think
about.
it's better than Sonic. That's all I need to say.
Oh, what bullshit! Now I'm going to add that to
even though it shares similarities in
number one.
Sonic
I'm
Frontiers.
changing it, putting Sonic at number one in my top 10.
I put Mario Kart at -0. Does that put that above that then? No, it's still a lot of fun though to play, and they have made it even more accessible. A lot of the things that you would have to kind of know how to do as a more skilled player, they just kind of do for you, but not in a way that like it feels like the game's playing by itself. It's just like, okay, here you go, instead of having to do this. I think the addition of like the wall riding stuff is really neat. It just feels like they need to make it so you have to engage with that stuff a little more. Right now, it just kind of feels like one of those things that like Mario Kart perverts online use to just absolutely destroy me in a race versus something that's like a viable strategy for everyone to use. So yeah, Mario Kart.
Oh, okay. I think that's pretty much it. Like for me, honorable mentions go. Yeah, I'll put. Oh well, like horrible games. I put Mario Kart though. That's what I want. But I was just joking.
What's your least
no,
favorite game of the year, Dom?
it's not.
Mario Kart.
Well, it's not bad. It's just I just don't think it's worth. Whatever, man. I wish you even mentioned it.
I honorably mentioned it, Dominic. It has been mentioned honorably.
It's disrespectful to Sonic, Cross Worlds, and even that Kirby game, which I had no respect for whatsoever. But I definitely have a lot more respect for that game than Mario Kart.
I think that Kirby game is probably better than Sonic. I'm just saying.
Right? Okay, but they both better than Mario Kart.
How dare you? I'm more of a Garfield kart person myself.
Its peak is 8, and that's it. Like anything else, and then here it is. Its peak is 8. 7 was overrated. I don't know why anybody liked that game. Like I mean, it's not bad, but
was
like
7 the DS game?
Yeah, and I played the shit out of that game, and I still don't know. I didn't know why people loved it, honestly, because I'm like, goodness gracious, it's okay, but I mean, good God,
it's got 2 screens, Dominic.
It bought nothing like Mario 64 did. It's like I can't even compare. Like, why is this rated so great? But yeah, I never knew why that was rated so great. I think it was all right. I never played Double Dash, which people don't like. Which I don't know what it does. Like I'm always wondering, like people who don't like it. I'm like, what? Damn, what did it do? Like what did it do?
I think there were a couple of problems with Double Dash, right? I think the first thing is I think Double Dash is where they first introduced different style carts. You know, you were no longer using just the generic kind of pipe frame cart.
I don't understand the carts, honestly. Like the different style. I think that's what was 7. Like I don't know the benefit of having that many tires.
Yeah.
And like I almost feel like it's almost too much. Like it's like what do you what are you doing? I don't know what's
I
going
think
on.
in a
Like,
lot of
why?
ways, it was their attempt at moving away from like this character is this because like let's say I like Yoshi a lot, but I don't necessarily like the way he controls that then allows me to choose the cart instead of the character.
Character? Oh, okay. I
Um,
got it.
but I
All
think
right.
that also is problematic because then it's like, well, I don't like the look of this cart, but it has the best statistics or whatever, right?
Oh, yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think it's weird, but I think that was their intention, at least. And when you get into the like the okay, the cart, but then you also have the tires. I honestly don't know if it's maybe like the tires affect like a couple of stats, whereas the cart affects a couple of stats,
What
or if
about
the
the
tires then
hang
allow you to
gliders?
like
Like, what hang glider are you
sub.
using? Or
That I
parachute?
feel like is just an aesthetic choice
Oh,
for the
okay.
most part, but I could be wrong about that. Um, but I don't know if they're going for like micro adjustments of that stuff when you're talking about like tires and whatnot. Um, that might be all stuff that the people that are like playing Mario Kart online constantly are worried about. It's like I can only use this character with this cart with these tires because that is the best combination in the game. And if you don't use that, you have no chance in hell of coming in first because this character will bump this character and you'll get a this many seconds start off the line and all that kind of nonsense.
Right.
See, Dominic,
So
depth.
that is the end of our Game of the Year podcast. We're coming at the end,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So thank you guys for listening. You can check us out. Our regular podcasts usually come out about weekly. Sometimes we miss a week here or there. We aren't as consistent as your regular video game podcasts. We're not exactly video game journalists, so this isn't paying the bills. But we enjoy
well,
doing it.
those other guys, some of those most other guys aren't either.
And that's why they're getting fired by IGN. How dare you, Dominic?
No, I ain't talking
Um,
about them. I'm talking about like the
okay.
podcast.
Well,
Well,
don't
most of
don't
them
tell people those people are more dedicated than us, even though they don't get paid, Dominic.
they do get paid. They do
No,
get
they're just
paid,
not paying
but
the bills.
yeah.
They're getting paid. They're just not getting paid enough. I get it. Um, So yeah, thank you guys as always for listening. You check us out on Twitter. Diamond is at D Stallworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. You can tell me how awesome Mario Kart is there at SupaPod, SUPAPOD. Make sure you tag Dominic when you tell me how awesome Mario Kart is. You can check us out on Blue Sky. I feel like I'll get more replies on Blue Sky about how awesome Mario Kart is, Dominic. I feel like that's a Blue Sky take.
Oh,
Whereas
it
like
definitely is.
a Sonic transform take is definitely a Twitter take.
Like the only
You
part, like
take
I
that
like
as
Blue
well.
Sky. It's just that it's a echo chamber of goodness that I
Yeah.
don't like that. I say like I say goodness. I say good,
In
but
this world
no.
of shit,
I'm
it's
not.
not believable.
I'm not gonna say that because I see. I mean, but it's an echo chamber of people with very, very, very similar opinions. There. I mean, yes, there are some things I did look that some people actually had something different, but I mean, I get it why, like, why people left like Twitter. I mean, shucks, I definitely understand. Um, it's just that it's all the same people that left. Is that so? That's kind of
Right.
that's what sucked. But it's um, like it's okay to have arguments, just don't be nasty. Like it seems like that's what things with Twitter. Sometimes it looks like it's an okay argument, and then somebody, I guess they get so angry. Um, well, I assume it's a he. I mean, a lot of times I tell you it's a he, and he's white. So I mean, so I'll take that. And like you got to say, oh, it's all not all, but it's like all doesn't mean literally all. I mean, everybody knows that, but y'all just want to be whatever. But it like they be like they're angry. It's always say retard. It's like, well, you're retarded. It's like, goddamn. I say, dude, it's like it just comes. It's sometimes I feel like come out of nowhere. Like it's not like, oh, they're just having a discussion. Then they just get really mad. That's like Jesus Christ. I said, why'd you gotta go call the guy a name? I mean, where did that escalate it to? It's like why does it escalate? You call them a name and thinking like discussion, and it's like, damn, it's like you just ruined it. It's like you just ruined the whole moment. It's like I don't even care about whatever is said now, like because you just messed it all up. But Blue Sky, I do like sometimes, but I make it easier for me to get to know about certain news, like even real news or like gaming news, because I don't have to go through all that shit, and I can just see like, okay, this is what happened and whatever. And then I can see the opinions down there, but they're kind of mostly same. But then I go check on Twitter on it, and then I see like, yes, it's a lot of shitty ones, but there's some that some are different. And like I just, it's just it sucks. It sucks that the space that Twitter has made for that, like, and it really sucks that like I want to leave Twitter too, but for things that I actually advocate for, it's actually they're all still mostly on Twitter. So like I have nowhere else to really talk about that stuff or see that stuff at. It's not they're not really on Blue Sky with that. It's actually people who are against it, like who are on Blue Sky, and which like that's just why funny because it's like ignorance, like this people not able to delve. I don't like the idea of like the internet, people not be able to delve into like understanding something like you see a few people say something and you think like, oh, but that's all that group is. And then that's the example you always use. And it's like, dude, like let's look more. Like I just like with the whole like me, just like with any situation, like things I might be against. I also understand it's like, these people, well, because this guy says something, they're not all the same, they're not all assholes or something like that, or they all think like these racist things. They actually have a legitimate point. And I guess like that's the hard part is like looking past that or like trying to look past that. But I feel like if you're really serious about it, you got to. It's like and I get it, like Twitter is just so much of that, like to look through that it gets to be like, I don't want to go through that. But you also I don't want to paint anybody like a group in a way, certain group in a way of that, like too. Like it's just the internet's a mess. Yeah, I think my dad was right at the very beginning. It should have just been social media should have just been like canceled. Like they should have just stopped it all. It should have stopped everything and let us be what we were. Because we don't know. We got this too soon. We got social media too soon. Like we weren't ready for this. We weren't ready for it. The internet came to us too fast, Daniel.
Yep.
It should have been limited. Should have just been limited to, I don't know, like emails at the most and instant messenger. Like it should have just been. It should have stopped there. It's just and also like taking forever. Like it shouldn't have got that fast too. Like porn should still be taking forever to download, to see anything. All right.
All right.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah. Yep. With that, superpod.com, you can check us out there as all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including iTunes or YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, YouTube Music, Spotify, Amazon, all those places that you can find audio podcasts. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right. See you.